Gun manufacturers asked the U.S. Supreme Court to block Mexico's $10 billion lawsuit against them. I've recently criticized Mexico for continuing its decline with a new president who's even further left than the previous one. The Mexican government has lost control of its borders, and it is not maintaining control and providing security for its people or for Americans. Instead of taking responsibility for this, the scumballs in Mexico tried to file a lawsuit that claimed U.S. companies were intentionally undermining Mexico's tough gun laws by making military-style assault weapons. And these, of course, are finding their way to the drug cartels and the other criminals in Mexico. Well, in the first round, U.S. District Judge F. Dennis Saylor in Massachusetts, which is not necessarily a big pro-gun state, dismissed the case. Judge Saylor found that the Federal Prosecution of Lawful Commerce in Arms Act, the PLCAA of 2005, and I quote, unequivocally bars lawsuits seeking to hold gun manufacturers responsible for the acts of individuals using guns for their intended purpose. The PLCAA was enacted to protect the industry from frivolous lawsuits like this one filed by Mexico. But in January 2024, an anti-American three-judge panel of the First Circuit Court of Appeals reversed, returning the case to the district court. And that meant that the lawsuit could then proceed again. However, the gun makers have now gone to SCOTUS to have the case thrown out, and I do expect that the current Supreme Court will throw the case out. Folks, in turn, I think the United States needs to file a $10 trillion action against Mexico for allowing the cartels to flourish, preventing a threat to all U.S. citizens. Mexico has allowed the cartels to engage in drug dealing, human trafficking, and an untold number of terrorists to cross through its border and cause harm to the United States. It's hard to estimate the harm that Mexico's failed state has allowed to be caused in the United States.